Yo, y'all want to know what's sad in the sport of boxing, especially when it comes to these sanctioning bodies. What's really sad is when the WBC, the green belt, the glorified sanctioning body in the WBC, can release a statement, and as a fan, you have zero confidence in this statement that they release. Let's talk about it. What up, YouTube? Big T.O. Heavy Bad Boxing TV. Man, get your big goof ass in here. Hit the bag. Hit that like button for your boy. That helps the channel. You know, I appreciate that love. Shout out my gang, man. D1 Merc 1 ML21 Skinny JT Black Jesus. My guy Troy Jack. Modern King Rebel Life. Letitia YK World. My guy Tyree Celeste. And big shout out to my guy More and More Network. My boy Sean. Yeah, man, when somebody like the WBC can release a statement and you can read it and you have zero confidence that they'll follow through with that. Now, it appears that David Benavidez is finally getting the help that he needs to get to secure the fight with Canelo Alvarez from the said sanctioning body in the WBC, right? President Mauricio Suleiman comes out, he says, listen, if Canelo Alvarez gets past his September 30th bout versus Jermell Charlo, David Benavidez will be the mandatory, and more than likely it looks like they'll order that fight. All right, he's basically saying we're going to order that fight. If Canelo gets past Jermell Charlo, we going to order that fight. And it's crazy because I don't believe it. You know, when it comes to the WBC, and especially when it comes to Canelo Alvarez, it be hard to believe. And you hate to think that it has to boil down to the WBC having to trap Canelo in a corner to fight David Benavidez. Now, of course, David Benavidez, we do believe, and I don't even think it came out as official just yet, officially. David Benavidez versus Demetrius Andrade. I know they have a date. You know, they had supposedly both of them have agreed to terms, but I haven't seen an official drop. If you got the official drop coming from Team David Benavidez or Team Demetrius Andrade or a reliable source close to that situation, please drop that link in the comment section for your boy. I've seen a lot of people talking about this fight happening. I've seen a lot of details that's supposed to be for this fight, but nothing official. I would like to see something official. But if that fight is, in fact, next for David Benavidez and Andrade, he would have to get past Andrade, and, of course, Canelo would have to get past Jermell Charlo. Now, both of them, let's keep it all the way, being realistic, both of them could lose. I do believe that these are tough fights for both of them, but I do believe both of them prevail in these next fights. I do think Canelo Alvarez beats Jermell Charlo. I know a lot of y'all don't agree with that. I still just believe Jermell has to be perfect come next weekend. Can he be perfect and then still be around after all 12 rounds to get his hand raised? That's the question, because he could very well be winning all of these rounds and get clipped in the 10th, and then it's night-night Jermell Charlo. Can he hurt Canelo Alvarez? No, and I don't care what you say. Now, if this fight happens between Demetrius Andrade and David Benavidez, that's a really, really good fight too. A lot of people could see Andrade outboxing David Benavidez. I can too, for the first few rounds, because what Demetrius Andrade has always shown us, he comes out fast. You know what I'm saying? He comes out fast, and he kind of stacks up a few points early on in the fight, but he also normally slows down. He normally comes up off that gas midway to those late middle rounds, and that's when David Benavidez is normally turning it on. So if David Benavidez has any kind of success in those early rounds, it's probably going to definitely be a wash in those later rounds. And then therefore, if he can't get the knockout or the stoppage, he probably gets his hand raised. I do believe David Benavidez wins that fight. Now, I know a lot of y'all don't feel like he will, and Andrade will outbox him successfully in this fight. But listen, I don't give a damn. I got the Mexican monster. I think he wins. Again, I'm taking I'm gonna be Mexican as hell for these next couple of fights with Canelo and David Benavidez. I'm sorry, I'm just unbiased. I call it like I feel like I see it. I'm not gonna pick these guys just because they black. I'm going with who I think actually is gonna win these fights. Hopefully, I'm wrong. Am I pulling for him? Of course, yeah. Of course. I'm just telling you who I think is gonna win. But with that being said, that would be the perfect storm to set up the Canelo Alvarez, David Benavidez, and appears with the help from the WBC. Now, if that is actually how it unfolds, then we'll just see how credible the WBC word is, or Mauricio Suleiman's word is, again, as he's let us down in the past so many times. And, and then when you think about all of the antics from the WBC, from the franchise belt to, it's just a bunch of BS when it comes to the WBC. But I guess they'll get an opportunity to let us down again, or in fact follow through with the word. But as of right now, listen, man, the WBC is naming David Benavidez as a mandatory challenger for Saul Canelo Alvarez. And if he beats Jermell Charlo, it appears that is what they're going to order for early part of next year. David Benavidez, Canelo Alvarez. You guys let me know what you think in the comment section, man. Will the WBC actually follow through with making this fight? And listen, and despite whatever, let's just look at it this way. Arguably, I know a lot of people don't agree with me, but arguably, David Benavidez is the best guy at 68, man. Canelo Alvarez, in his 3 title defenses since he's became undisputed after knocking out Caleb Plant back in 21, he's defended against the smaller 160-pounder and a Triple G. Not saying it wasn't, it was a fan favorite fight for the casuals. Hardcore fans didn't want to see that. We knew how that was going to end. Let's be real. Then he defends against John Ryder. What? Somebody who already lost to 2 guys Canelo knocked out, and a Caleb Smith and a Rocky fucking Fielding. John Ryder. Nobody wanted to see that shit. And now he's defending against another smaller guy and a Jermell Charlo from 154. And the only reason Jermell's getting this fight is because he's undisputed. Let's keep it a buck. That's a great selling point. Undisputed versus undisputed. But all of these moves are questionable. You got the WBA interim champ out there, and David Morrell, and the WBC interim champ out there, and a David Benavidez. These fights have to happen, bro. You know what I'm saying? And it sucks that you got to corner Canelo and Alvarez, and you got to corner him into a mandatory fight for one of these guys, when these should have just been the fights that you was looking to make anyway. You guys let me know what you think in the comment section, man. Am I crazy? Am I wrong? Am I tripping? I still like Canelo to beat Jermell Charlo. All right, man, that's all I got for y'all on this one, man. Big T.O. Heavy Bag. Talk to him, Roger.
Most motherfuckers don't know shit about boxing.